Hey yo, it's Hip Hop DJ Eternal 88. What's going on, y'all? Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe. So we got Cam and Dame Dash, Cameron and Dame Dash, y'all. Dame Dash goes on the Art of Dialogue, right? And he's asked about how he feels from Cameron saying that Dame would be set for life if Dame knew how to manage his money, right? And Dame's response to me is very surprising. And I'll tell you why, but let's watch this first, y'all. Let's get it.
Yeah, I know Cam, he said that you'll be set for life if you know how to manage your money. And he was out of love when he said it too.
Again, I'm not. See, the thing about Cam is he's my little brother. He's from Harlem, and what he did, I wouldn't advise. And because he did it, doesn't mean I'm gonna do it. Him and I should have that conversation in person. I'm not here to have a conversation between my little brother for entertainment. But it seemed to me like he could potentially have done that for entertainment. But we'll talk about him and I should. And I know Cam. He'll avoid me for 3 4 years. But if he ever has an opinion, I think what would be, I don't respect when a man speaks about another man when they're not there. I'm not known for talking about dudes when they're not there. I'm known about for confronting people and having a conversation in their face. So I would love to have a conversation if he wants face to face, but I don't think it would be that same energy. But I love Cam and we'll deal with that. Like, if you saw someone that's supposed to be an OG not acting like one because one of the people that are younger than them did something that you wouldn't do, and then it says, "All right, now I'm gonna do that," then that takes away from my OGness. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna do that for this platform.
So, if you ask me, y'all, Dame saying that that's feminine leads me to believe that Dame just watched clips of what Cam was actually saying, or he didn't watch it at all. You know what I mean? Because this is what actually Cam really said for real. I'm about to play it for y'all, right? But first, Dame speaks about other men a lot, y'all. Let's just keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? So that part really don't make sense to me because Dame speaks on Jay-Z, Dame speaks on Kevin Hart, he even spoke on Jay-Z's scrape case and was like kind of funny about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we're gonna get into the part right here where Cam is actually not feminine at all, if you ask me. Let's get it.
Dame talks crazy. Last thing, and I'm just saying, it's his spending. Dame would be set for life if he knew how to manage his money. He made more than enough money not to work no more, but he want to keep hustling. And I dig it. It's in him. Pause. That's just something he want to do. But when it's not working out, you can't get mad at other people. I tell people all the time, Dame is like Dr. Brown from Back to the Future. Because people say Dame is crazy, and God bless the dead. Irv Gotti came to my crib one time and he's saying, yo, man, you the only one who could talk to Dame, bro. You know what you should do? Have a talk with him. He said, because when he's up and he's acting crazy, which he's not acting, he looks like a genius. But when he's down and he's talking like this, he looks crazy. You should have a talk with him. And I tell Irv Gotti, I say, yo, the problem with this, it's not a problem, but this is Dame. He's Dr. Brown from Back to the Future. And what I mean when I say that is that, you know, a nigga who be telling you, yo, I got a time machine. I got a time machine. You be like, this nigga's crazy. But he fuck around and have a time machine. You know what I'm saying? You can't count Dame out. Dame will come up with some shit next year and have another $200 million company. I remember when Dame was going through his shit, he'd be like, I don't give a fuck. I'll make another $100 million company tomorrow. That's what I do. He made 3 different $100 million companies, whether it was Rockefeller, Rockaware, Rachel Roy. He makes $100 million companies, so you can never count Dame out.
Like I said, y'all, after watching that, if you ask me, it definitely seems like Dave is the one that's being sensitive or feminine or whatever the fuck he said. Honestly, because Cam was actually showing Dame love and saying that Dame had hella multi-millionaire companies. You know what I'm saying? Showing him love. And the reason Cam even said any of this to begin with was because Dame previously went on the Art of Dialogue and said this, y'all. Let's get it.
To be honest, to me, the amount of people that I actually put on, I should never be broke, ever in life. I should never have to fund nothing. I should never have to struggle. I should just look like it should just be an anonymous bag with money all the time. The amount of people whose lives I've changed, if they were like on it like that, I shouldn't even have to move. But it seems like the people that I help the most, they end up resenting me the most. I don't know why. Like I should never have to ask for nothing.
Yeah, you're right, man. You put a lot of people on, man. Nobody can front on that, man. Jay, Kanye, Kevin Hart, them three alone, man. Superstar names.
Lee Daniels, Cameron, Rachel Roy, you know, like you say, it's a lot.
So Dame's speaking on putting people on, right? Including Cameron. That's what led Cam to speak on Dame's finances. Let's just keep it real. And Cam was not disrespectful about it at all, if you ask me. Do y'all think? Honestly, like, how was Cam disrespectful? And how is it feminine? And to be honest, if you ask me, this is a perfect response to what Dame is saying. He shouldn't ever have to work again? Like, come on, bro. Like, what are you talking about, Dame? You shouldn't ever have to work again just because you put people on. This is what Cam's response to that was. Let's get it.
Dame know this more than anybody else. You can't stop hustling. All them people Dame put on that he named, it wasn't like they got a chunk of money and stopped. Everybody kept hustling. They kept going. You did put Kevin Hart in his first movie. I was actually in that movie with Kevin Hart, Paper Soldiers. And you have to be thankful for the opportunity. But did Kevin Hart keep going on and doing a bunch of other shit? Yeah, he wouldn't be Kevin Hart just from being Kevin Hart from Paper Soldiers.
I think Cam is speaking more logically than Dame by far. And way more mature. Like, come on, Dame. Like, for real, bro. You shouldn't have to work because of all the people you put on, including Cam. And then Cam says, you make it seem like you can't manage money to the public, but don't count Dame out. You know what I mean? And honestly, I feel like Dame does that because of all his tax situations. And then Dame gets mad when people speak on it about you not being this or being that. But I think Dame does that for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Because he can't own shit, so he has to make it look like that. But you can't get mad when people say shit about it then. You know what I'm saying? And also, Dame's going to keep working. Cam said that. You know what I'm saying? And Cam also said that Dame keeps making $1 million businesses. And he was saying basically the people that Dame put on had to keep working to maintain being rich. And Cam also said, but Dame already knows that. You know what I'm saying? That don't seem feminine to me in any kind of way. If anything, what I'm about to play next seems feminine to me, especially since it's Cap. You know what I'm saying? And if Dame would have done his research, he would know that what he's about to say is Cap. Because Cameron did actually speak on fucking Dame stunting on him. You know what I'm saying? But this is what Dame had to say, man. This shit is Cap. And I don't even know if Dame knows it's Cap, what he's saying. But I feel like if you're going to go on a platform like this, you should have done your research first, y'all. Let's get it.
But you know what? The only thing I was let me say this. The only thing I was disappointed for Cam when he did say that, he didn't let the world know that every time he calls me, I still front on him. So when he calls me recently with all of these things, before he got upset because of whatever I said about 50 Cent, I'd be like, yo, we still fronting. So every time I call him, I'd be like, yo, I'm in a different house. Show me your house. I was just wondering why he didn't talk about that. Like every time he's seen me, he's never seen me look like I've mismanaged my money. It just seemed like it was promoting a narrative.
Cam definitely admitted to Dame stunting on him. So before Dame goes on these big platforms like Art of Dialogue and says shit like that, he should have done his research, y'all. I don't give a fuck. He would have seen what I'm about to show y'all. Dame shows Cam shows Dame mad love. He even like basically says he never wins no arguments with him. He says about Dame having walls that are museum walls and having urinals in his instead of toilets, having places in London. You know what I'm saying? So Dame, what he just said was mad cap, and this is why, y'all. Let's get it.
Me and this nigga going back and forth. He's like, yeah, I just left Kanye's house. He got horse shit. You got dog shit in your house. I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, what's this about? Yeah, I'm just saying you ain't getting it like that. Da, 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 da. I'm like, dang, where are we going with this? He's talking about, I'm just saying, nigga, it took me 35 minutes from the driveway to get up to his house. I said, oh, dang, all right, no problem. He said, you live in a little house. I said, Dave, you never been to all my houses. I said, my crib, at that time I had a crib in Florida. I won't say what part or whatever. I said, Dave, my crib in Florida is 9,000 square feet. Oh, that's still little. That's a little house. 9,000 square, okay. We going back and forth. Now we in a full-fledged argument. Fuck out of here. You ain't doing this, doing that. I said, Dave, I own all my houses. You don't own any of your houses. He said, yeah. Who want to own a house in a recession? I said, that's the time to own them. I lose the argument every time. The best way to beat Dame is on a text. You're not going to beat him verbally. So, but to answer your question, I love Dame. That's my bro. And whatever I can do for him, I absolutely will. But all this shit, you shouldn't have to work no more. And then, nigga, they wasn't even thinking about me. Throw my name in, and it's kind of crazy. But you spend crazy. You spend crazy, and you talk crazy to people too. I'm just a nigga who knows you, so I could tolerate some of your verbal abuse, even though you don't consider it verbal abuse.
I ain't gonna lie. The Art of Dialogue interview is a great interview. When Dame's speaking on family, when Dame's speaking on, just like about his business practices and shit like that. But when he starts talking about Cam, I really don't fuck with that. You know what I mean? And it lets me know that he didn't watch that podcast. Because Cam is talking about Dame like he's his brother. You know what I mean? He ain't disrespecting him. There was nothing feminine about what Cam said whatsoever at all. Because if that's the case, then Dame Dash is definitely feminine. Like, he went on a bunch of platforms speaking on Jay-Z over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? He spoke on hella people. He speaks on Kevin Hart. He speaks on all these people. He even spoke on Cam and Jimmy and shit before. Like, and none of these people were in your presence when you were talking about them. Yes, you approached people before and confronted people face to face, Dame. We know that, right? But Cam isn't one of them guys that goes and sneak disses people and like tries to make you look bad. He always talks you up, builds you up, Dame. You know what I'm saying? He says you created bunch of different $1 million businesses and you're going to continue to do that. So I don't understand where this shit is coming from, saying that Cam is feminine or there are feminine ways that Cam has and he won't keep that same energy with you in person. Like, it just seems like this is probably why a lot of people don't want to work with Dame Dash, y'all. You know what I'm saying? He's just too smart for his own good, too cocky for his own good. And I respect what Dame Dash has done for the culture. I really do. Don't get me wrong. Dame Dash has done a lot for the hip-hop culture overall. But I feel like if you're going to go on big platforms like the Art of Dialogue, which isn't a small platform whatsoever at all, it's not. You should have done your research first. And I think maybe Art should have stopped him, the dude, the Art of Dialogue. I think he should have stopped him and been like, nah, I think Cam was actually saying that you stun on him, you know what I mean? And that he can't win an argument with you and all this other shit. He should have stopped him and told him that, but I get it. It's content at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But let me know what y'all think about all this in the comment section. Who y'all think's in the right? Who y'all think's in the wrong? Cam or Dame Dash? And make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe. Follow me on IG, and we out.